Hello, welcome to the city, where we have been exploring the library and looking at books and thinking about what you should and shouldn't do in a library. So Yonghi, what should you do when you go to a city?
I think I should explore the famous places and interesting area.
Sounds like a good idea. Are there any cities in the world you would like to explore and visit?
If I'm given the opportunity, I will go to Istanbul.
And what do you think you should do when you go to Istanbul?
I should go to the beautiful temples.
The mosques.
Yeah, the mosques, and I should have to taste the food.
Wow, that sounds
Kebab.
That sounds wonderful. And we're going to be talking about things you should and shouldn't do when you visit cities.
Wow.
In English 2, Unit 9, Part 2, with me, your Professor Neil, and my TA Yonghee.
Hello, this is TA Yonghee. Wow, that place was beautiful, and I think I've seen some red double-deck bus pass by.
That's gone off because that picture is of Greenwich in London.
Ooh.
If you look at your watch or your clock.
It's Greenwich Standard Time.
Yeah, GMT.
Ooh, interesting. And Professor Neil, your avatar has a crown look like a hat on.
Yes, well, when in London, do as Londoners do.
You mean that you are having a paper toy crown?
You should be like the royals.
Interesting.
Okay. And what is one interesting fact you can give me about the Queen of England?
She's been queen for a long time.
Yes, I'll give you one interesting fact. She does not need a passport or a driving license.
She doesn't have to drive?
She does drive, but she doesn't need a driving license.
Why not?
Because she's the Queen of England.
Ooh, interesting.
Most people have to take a driving test.
Well, better write down. This is very interesting.
And
fact.
They need a passport when they travel. But when you're the Queen of England, you don't need any of that.
Wow, it's amazing. So, if you are Queen of England, what age you are in doesn't matter because you are allowed to drive anyhow.
Yes. So, talking of driving, here we are again, driving in the city. So, Yonghi, if you want to drive, unlike the Queen of England, what do you need?
I need a drive license.
You need a driving license. Yes. So, and what age do you need to be to get a driving license?
In Korea, you have to be 19.
Yeah, so that would be your country, Korea. In the United Kingdom, you have to be 17. But obviously, in the United States, even younger. Mexico, even younger. So we're talking about the driving age, and we're back to using modals to explain what you want to say in a sentence. So the question here is talking about people learn to drive at different ages around the world. Right, and they were saying, what is the driving age in a country? So here, what is the driving age in Peru? You have to be at least 18 years old. So the driving age in Peru is 18.
Wow.
Okay. So as you said, the driving age in Korea is 19. The driving age in the UK is 17. So there's a little difference in every country.
Wow, France and Mexico, when you're 15, you can drive.
Yes. So let's look at here, part B, the grammar for you have to be at least 18 years old. So they're answering the question, what is the driving age? Well, we have, as we mentioned before, a subject, we have a modal, we have a verb, but in this case we have a complement because of the verb. Right? The verb, you have to be 16 years old. So the be is not followed by an object. the be is followed by a complement.
Complement. 播哦
Oh, thank you, Yonghi. And in the example sentence above, it says you have to be at least 16 years old. So 16 is another type of phrase, and it plays a different role in the sentence. So Yonghi, what role does at least play in the sentence?
It is adjunct.
Adjunct.
So you can remove it.
Yeah, and we put PP here for a prepositional phrase. Because you've got the preposition at. So as Yonghi says, an adjunct is optional in a sentence. You can say, you have to be 16 years old. This is perfectly acceptable as a sentence.
It's correct sentence.
Correct.
Without adjunct.
So if you add the adjunct, it just changes the meaning a little bit.
Give additional meaning, but without it, no problem.
It's still the same meaning. Here, at least means you have to be over 16 years old. You cannot be 15 years old.
So minimum age you have to be for driving is 16.
Yes, that's what the at least is to be. Talking about the minimum. Well, let's practice. Just asking Yonghi some questions. What is the driving age in the United States?
You have to be at least 16 years old.
What is the driving age in the Philippines?
You have to be at least 17 years old.
What is the driving age in France?
You have to be at least 15 years old.
Yeah, notice with United States, it's like in the United States. Philippines is in the Philippines. And France is in France. Mexico is in Mexico and in Brazil. Sometimes you have to put a the before some countries. So for example, Yonghi, you are from Korea. What is the driving age in Korea?
You have to be at least 19 years old in Korea, but I'm not sure what age exactly.
Okay, if you ask me?
What is the driving age in the United Kingdom?
So, yes, you have to be at least 17 years old in the United Kingdom. Well, there we go. So basically, the Queen of England, though, she doesn't need a driving license.
Interesting aspect.
She is free from rules. She can just move on whenever she wants.
So is that why you gave yourself the crown to your avatar?
Yes, because like the Queen, I want to do whatever I want. However, you can't do whatever you want, as it will show here in speaking to. There are rules you should follow in the world and in life, unless you are the Queen of England. So some rules are such as, what should I do if I want to make new friends? You should join a club.
It's more like a suggestion or advice than rules in this case, Professor.
Oh, okay, yes. In speaking one, in the starter, it was rules.
In the library rule.
So those are things you have to do, and there is a strong obligation. In speaking one, they are rules, they are things you are obliged, you have to do. Here in speaking two, they are not rules, they are advice or suggestions. So you have a choice. So the modal we use here is the lowest obligation modal, should.
Yeah, so it's not high, it's the low modal we use, should.
Yeah, so before should was used to give rules that you should follow, but here should is used to give suggestions that you could follow. So the first one we're looking at, make new friends. What should I do if I want to make new friends? The suggestion is you should join a club. So we're following the same pattern before. Subject, modal, verb, object. But here in the question they use the if conditional. If you want to, you can also include it in the answer. You can repeat it. It is an option.
Then it is adjunct.
Adjunct.
Entire chunk of the words starting from if to friends. They are optional, so therefore you say adjunct. But this is not just one word, it's more than one word, and it's called a phrase. So phrasal adjunct.
Excellent. So these ones are noun phrase, verb phrase, noun phrase, phrasal adjunct.
So in this sentence, you can say you should join a club, or you can say you should join a club if you want to make new friends. Also, because it's adjunct, you can change the order. You can say, if you want to make new friends, you should join a club.
Yes, because as we said in speaking one with the adjunct at least, they are optional, but also some adjuncts, but not all, can move around. And this adjunct can be at the beginning of the sentence or at the end of the sentence. Let's look at the second picture. What should I do if I want to quit smoking? Same pattern again for the answer. You must set a quit date.
Professor Neil, does the word to quit same meaning as stop?
Yes.
Okay, quit is same meaning as the stop.
Yes, so to quit something is to stop doing something. So you must set a quit date if you want to quit smoking. So in a quit date, it is saying a stopping date. A stopping date. So it's the time you want to stop smoking. So you're smoking today, but you say next Monday is my quit date, and it means next Monday you will quit smoking. Stop smoking.
And next one?
As we said, the if adjunct can come at the beginning of the sentence too. So here you could use the modal ought to, which is like should.
Don't we need a comma after a language?
No. If, oh, sorry. Yes. Yes, sorry. Yes, you do. Now let's put the comma in there. I forgot about that. Yes, you do need the comma. What am I saying? So if you want to learn a language, you ought to. So ought to is one of our lower obligation.
Similar to should.
Should modals. Form a study group. The same pattern. Well, let's practice it with some other pictures. Let's fire them up. So, Yonghee, what should I do if I want to go on a vacation?
I have you should save money if you want to go on a vacation.
Very good. What should I do if I want to lose weight?
If you want to lose weight, you should exercise regularly.
Oh, regularly. Good advice. That means often. What should you do if you want to be a better cook?
You should take a cooking class if you want to be a better cook.
Oh, I could do with some of those, but I've tried cooking classes and I'm still not a better cook. Good suggestions, good advice, but doesn't always work for everybody. So we're going to move on.
Moving on.
Moving on to self-practice 1. Self-practice 1, if you're obliged or not obliged. So if you're obliged...
You mean you feel forced?
Yeah, that you should do something. If
you must. Like, I feel obliged to study hard.
Yeah, so have to or has to. So here it says fill in the correct form of have to or don't have to. Notice here, so for the example, Kevin has to see a doctor. So why is it has to, not have to?
Because the subject he is third person singular.
So have changes to has. So that's the thing to look out for here is the subject. And then you want to fill in either have to, has to, don't have to, or don't have to. So that one is self-study. But Young-hee, do you want to just do number 1?
Rachel has the day off. She doesn't have to go to work.
Oh, very good. Let me try number 2. I have an appointment, so I have to leave right now.
So this is a very useful self-practice to understand how to use the models of obligation should have.
One thing you might want to do is circle the subject and object.
To change the form of have or do.
Yes, to help you pay attention to them. So, as we say, moving on.
Moving on to the next section.
Classroom activity 1.
Classroom activity 1.
So it says, imagine you are planning a dinner party. Decide with your partner which things must or mustn't, should or shouldn't, or have to or don't have to be done. Use as many different expressions as you can.
Oh, it's like we are going through the checklist or party plan.
Yes. Lots of parties in Fast Track. And
Parties fun.
Yes, parties are fun. Look at everybody enjoying themselves. So as it says, we shouldn't order takeout food.
Why not?
Yeah, what a strange suggestion. We should order takeout food. Definitely in Korea. Get some wonderful chicken.
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken.
떡볶이.
No,
and sundae. And 족발.
No fish.
There aren't many fish delivery. That's sad. Sushi.
Sushi. Yes.
But expensive.
So, go on, Young-hee. What could you prepare? What should you prepare?
We should prepare some snacks.
Such as?
Potato chips.
Okay. Should we decorate the apartment?
We don't have to. We don't have to.
Should we go grocery shopping?
If you order takeout food, you don't have to. But if you don't order takeout food, you should go grocery shopping.
If someone's going to do the cooking, you should go grocery shopping. If someone is going to order takeout, you don't have to go grocery shopping. Should we send invitation cards?
It depends on whether you're just inviting friends and then you can just send SNS message.
Yes, invitation cards is something from the 1980s. I do like the 1980s though. Should we make vegetarian dishes?
It depends on the invitees.
Okay, check with the guests first. Should we buy some drinks or should we ask guests to bring drinks?
We should buy some drinks, but guests should bring their own drink too.
Yes, to be thoughtful. So should we plan a party theme? Black and white?
Or dress code? Or
dress code of black and
Squid Game outfit?
Yes, Squid Game.
It's a Halloween.
Favorite game. Alright, and should we create a music playlist?
These days, AI Genius List plays all those things.
So, yes, we should create a playlist. We should not rely on AI. Yes, AI, about as trustworthy as as bad AI.
Professor Nee, you are very old school.
Yeah, I'm very anti-AI.
I love AI, it's fun.
Okay, good. Let's AI out of here. Look, AI can't take us to moving on.
Moving on.
That has to be done by a real human being. Yes, I'm a real human being.
But I'm young.
Oh, yes, you're
I'm talking cat. Do you want to get rid of me, Professor Neil?
No, so let's go to classroom activity 2. Injuries and illness.
You injured me, my heart.
Oh, we broke your heart. Alright, so here, Young-hee, just to complete the sentences. Ken has a backache. Right? He should lie down. Jill has a cut. What should she do? What is a suitable treatment for Jill? Yeah, she should get a bandage. Christoph has a cough.
So he has to take cough syrup. That's difficult. He has to take cough syrup.
Syrup. Ugh, no one likes that. Penny has a rash.
Penny has to rub ointment on it.
Stephen has a toothache.
He has to see a dentist.
What should he not do?
He should stop.
Yeah, he should not eat candy.
He should not eat candy.
So what? George has a sore elbow. What should he do?
He has to stop playing tennis too much.
Yeah, so what should he not do?
He should not play tennis.
Yes. Yeah, just a bit of variation in using the modals.
Oh, the sudden attack of Professor Neil.
Sudden modal attack.
That was I had to use my brain a bit too much. All in sudden.
So here are some examples of things that she or he should do. Alright, so she has an earache, she should see a doctor. She has a fever, she should take a rest. He has a runny nose, he should blow his nose. She has a splinter, she should pull it out. He has a broken wrist, he should see a doctor. He has a headache, he should take some medicine. So it's answering the question, what should he or she do if he or she has an earache or a fever and so on.
Professor Neil, I think there should be a and un.
Good one. All right, let's just change. So I'm just going to ask Yonghee the question just to show you how it works. So Yonghee, first one, what should she do if she has an earache?
She should see a doctor.
What should she do if she has a fever?
She should take a rest.
What should he do if he has a runny nose?
He should blow his nose.
What should she do if she has a splinter?
She should pull it out.
What should he do if he has a broken wrist?
He should see a doctor.
And lastly, what should he do if he has a headache?
He should take some medicine.
Yes. So it's advice for illnesses or being sick or injuries. And when people are injured or ill, they usually ask for advice. Usually from the doctor. Well, let's move on. If you have an illness or a sickness, you should go see your doctor. Okay? So let's move those answers out. Boom, 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 boom.
Moving on.
Moving on. That's the end of classroom activities. Now we are going to move on to listening. So listening follows the usual pattern. We are going to read the listening and then show you the answers. So for part one, listen. So here we go. So Erica is calling Pete for advice about a trip to New York. Listen to their conversation and choose the best answer for each question.
Hi, Pete. I'm planning a trip to New York and I want some advice.
How can I help?
First, where should I stay?
I grew up in Queens, but you might like staying in Manhattan.
I think so too. What sights should I see?
Well, of course, you'll want to see Times Square and the Statue of Liberty. Central Park is also really nice. You should plan a whole day in the park if you can. It's huge.
How should I get around the city? Are taxis best?
Taxis are really slow because of the traffic. You ought to take the subway instead.
Thanks. Can you give me some food recommendations?
Stay away from fast food chain restaurants. There are millions of better options. You need to take the pizza and have fresh bagels with cream cheese. You should also check out the dim sum restaurants and local delis. The food in New York is amazing.
I have just 2 more questions. When should I go and how long should I stay?
The Christmas holiday season in New York is magical, but it's also really busy and expensive. You should choose a summer vacation. Also, I recommend staying at least 5 days. You can see the main sights in 3 days, but nothing more.
Thanks for your advice, Pete.
No problem. I hope you have a great time in New York. Oh, now it sounded like a real American.
I don't know.
Okay, where does Pete recommend staying?
Manhattan.
Let's see. Oh, we've got our answers. Yes. What does Pete say about Central Park?
It's really big.
How should Erica travel in the city?
By subway, because taxis are expensive.
Which foods does Pete suggest trying?
Pizza and bagels with cream cheese.
Ooh, delicious. When should Erica visit New York?
In the summer.
Oh, perfect.
Summer vacation.
How long should Erica stay?
5 days.
Yeah, I don't really get why he said 5 days, but there we go, 5 days. Yeah, 5 days in most cities would be enough time to see everything. And in our moving on, that's what we're going to discuss in the reading. So in the reading, I'm not doing the reading, I'm just going to show. So here's the reading. Read it, and then you want to do the writing. In the writing, you want to write your own example about your hometown. So I'm going to give you my example about my hometown. Here we go. So, where is your hometown? What is famous about your hometown? What attractions must visitors see? What food should visitors try? And when should tourists visit? So here we go. This is me talking about my hometown. I am from London in the UK. It is the largest city in the UK with 12 million people. The most famous landmarks are Big Ben and Tower Bridge. Attractions. You should also go to the London Eye, and you should ride on the London double-decker bus. Food. You should eat fish and chips. You should visit in the summer when the weather is nice.
This is an excellent writing example, Professor Neil.
So, Yonggi, can you do this for, like, Busan? We won't show the pictures, but you just change it to, you are from Busan?
Yes, I'm from Busan in South Korea. It is the second largest city in Korea with 3.6 million people. The most famous landmarks are Gwangan Diamond Bridge and the Jagalchi Fish Market. Attractions, you should also pay a visit to Haeundae or Gwangalli Beach, and you should watch some movies in the Busan Cinema Center. Food, you should eat raw fish at the Jagalchi Market. You should visit in the autumn when the weather is very cool and nice.
Oh, very good. So you can see here, you just got to change London and UK to your, so I am from, place, in the country. And then other bits you can change, and then you can submit.
Ooh, we are finishing.
Yes, that writing.
Moving on.
Bye-bye, London. Oh, beautiful London. Well, beautiful when it's not raining.
Professor Neil has a homesick.
Yes. So grammar review, self-practice, fill in with the correct have or has to, matching with the subject, right? Matching with the correct subject. And then, again, select the right modals. And finally, put in the right phrases from the box with should or shouldn't. And that means, remember to use that you've used subject, modal, not or verb, and object correctly. And there we go, ending time.
Ooh, finished.
Yes, quite a long video. Sorry for that. We've hoped you enjoyed our journey from the library to the cities of America and Europe. This has been, English 2, Unit 9. And this is the end. So, goodbye from me.
And goodbye from TA Younghee as well.
Bye
See
bye.
you next time.